So this is Kevin Haroff, this year's mayor of the city of Larkspur. We're at a special meeting of the Larkspur City Council on Monday, August 2nd, 2021. We're starting just a few minutes late. It's 5:35. Like all of our meetings these days, and apparently now for the foreseeable future, this meeting is on video conference only. If you're in the public and wish to join the meeting, you can do so on Zoom. The login information, as well as a call-in number, is posted on the agenda, which is on the city's website. So with that, I'll call the meeting to order. We can have a roll call for who's here.
Councilmember Way.
Here.
Vice Mayor Hilmer.
Here.
Mayor Haroff.
And I'm here as well. And I think because of the nature of the meeting and the number of folks that we have, we don't need to do the Pledge of Allegiance, so we'll go right into public comment. This is a time for members of the public to address the City Council on items that are not on the agenda, which is somewhat limited tonight. One business item. So if there is a member of the public, I know we have a written comment that's been submitted, but if anyone in the public is out there and would like to make an appearance, please do so now, and keep your comments, if you would, limited to about 3 minutes.
I'm looking for any raised hands from our audience members or any emailed public comment, aside from the one received prior to the meeting, which is available on the agenda packet. And there's no public comment.
Okay, good. Well, in that case, we'll just plunge right into our one item tonight, which is a business item establishing job descriptions and pay ranges for the Community Development Director and Chief Building Official, which is a little bit of a reorganization that we're doing here, which is good. And I'll let our city manager take it away with any staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members. We recently learned that our longtime Planning and Building Director, Neil Toft, plans to retire at the end of the year. He's actually formally set the date as December 31st now. Neil and I had actually been working on an assessment of the department with thoughts on what the form and function should be going forward, what the staffing levels internally should be, what we should be doing in terms of complementing with outside resources. And with Mr. Toft leaving, I took an extra look around at some of the departments near us and more broadly in the Bay Area and California generally, and see an increasing trend of moving the departments toward the description of community development department. Community development signals that the director holds authority over everything that might fall under that umbrella, which is typically planning, building, economic development, and just general infill and development issues all throughout the city. And so, in considering that and wanting to make sure that we position Larkspur in a healthy way for the future, we went about studying community development director job descriptions, and I'm coming here tonight to ask that we adopt that job description so that we can use it going forward. Additionally, we did some assessment of what the market rate is for community development director, and we've proposed, and I'm asking for budget authority to recruit somebody in that pay range, which is itemized in your staff report. Lastly, one of the things that Neil and I have been working on a lot is the building side of his department, and increasingly we were of the opinion that the revenues being generated in the building division are sufficient to consider bringing the building official role in-house. For a while we had been exploring whether to share a building official with another community. We weren't finding a partner that we thought made sense for us for that process, so we've been evaluating the potential to bring it in-house. I don't plan on doing that recruitment anytime soon, but wanted to ask you to approve it this evening so that I could signal to prospective applicants for the community development director position that that's a potential resource for the reconfigured department. Normally, I would have just waited till your next council meeting, which is on August 18, but I asked for the special meeting because I'm hearing from people in the human resources world of public employment that director level positions are increasingly difficult to recruit for, and time matters, and that you should get started as soon as possible. So I wanted to bring it to you this evening because our hope is that if you approve it this evening, we'll actually open the recruitment by the end of the week. If at all possible, I would fill the position before Mr. Toff leaves. That would allow the new person to gain some of his wisdom about Larkspur. And there's also a number of special projects that Neil and I are mapping out timelines for his remaining months with us. As you can imagine, that even though Neil's given us pretty healthy notice, it still feels like a very short amount of time to meet. So a lot going on, a lot of balls in the air. And tonight I'm asking you to adopt this resolution that would approve these job descriptions and these pay ranges and authorize me to recruit for them. We'll probably bring you a mid-year adjustment in the budget after we see where all the numbers shake out, depending on the hires. With that, I'm available for questions.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Are there any questions from the council? I see Catherine waving her hand. Go ahead.
Hi, Dan. Thank you for that. I just a question. In the essential duties and responsibilities, one of the bullet items is act as chair, member, or advisor to city committees. So that would be Planning Commission, and you also expect it to be the Heritage Board too?
It would be the director or the director's designee would
Okay.
be the advisor to the Heritage Board.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we're the person recruited knows that we have those two different.
Well, that line also encompasses committees they might sit on for us. Right now, Neil's actually on the Marine Climate Committee for us, and he goes to the Planning Director Committee meetings as well.
Okay.
So there are external representations that occur. So having that broad line is pretty typical.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and from time to time, ad hoc responsibilities, committee responsibilities as well.
Well, and we've got two pretty important ad hoc processes. One going on now, the general plan updates in its final legs, and then we're about to start the housing element. Yeah, ad hoc. So we do have two pretty heavy committees going on.
And that's a lot of work.
And hopefully a library and community center project that they might be part of in a years ahead. Okay, that was my only question. It was very straightforward to me.
Okay. Vice Mayor Hilmer, do you have anything?
I realized myself that my question was ridiculous, so I'm not going to ask it.
I reject that characterization, but you can decide. You can decide whatever you wish. And just to clarify, is that some of the numbers, for example, the $220,000 in total compensation number for the chief building official, that's just what you're asking authority for. That's not what you necessarily anticipate we'll have to go with.
That would be if we hired somebody at the max pay rate and they opted, they had a full family, so we were covering their family medical, and so I don't know what the final numbers would end up being. It's unusual for us to hire somebody at the top of the pay range, so probably that number is much lower.
And that's the total compensation package. So I think you clarified that includes benefits, and it's not a salary. So
that's right.
So, okay. Any other questions from the council?
I do have one.
Good.
Dan,
be careful how you characterize it, though.
I'll try to keep it in the safe realm. Dan, do you think that what comes to mind when you think of how the pandemic is going to affect your recruiting?
That's one thing I'm hearing from HR is that folks are not moving around quite as much. The other thing that I think the pandemic does is it causes people to sort of take a pause and ask themselves, what are the challenges this community is going to be facing, and are those things I want to work on? But I think actually even harder for us right now is the important pension reforms that took place about 8 years ago. We're in that window where folks are at the tail end of their careers. You know, they've got 5 years or so left, and those were often the folks you could draw into these kinds of recruitments, and they might want to finish their career somewhere like Larkspur. But now, with the benefits being structured the way they are, they're staying put and riding it out in the community where they are. So that's probably a bigger hindrance to us than anything else.
Thank you.
And we thought we were through with these challenges, but we're not.
No, they're always going to be there. And of course, it's Marin. So Marin comes with its own challenges because of the
Yeah.
cost of living. So.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. And that's definitely not going away. Any other comments or questions by council? Well, I think we have a resolution in front of us. Let's see if there's any members of the public who would like to comment on this.
I'm looking for any raised hands from our audience members or any emailed public comment. And there is no public comment.
Okay, well, in that case, I'll bring it back to the council, and unless there are further comments or questions, I'll look for a motion.
I'll move the staff recommendation.
I'll second it.
Okay, let's have a roll call.
Councilmember White,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hilmer,
Yes.
Mayor Harrell.
Yes. So the motion is approved and the resolution is adopted. In which case, I think we will move on to our last meeting agenda item, which is adjournment. So can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Sure. Second it.
By acclamation, we are adjourned. Thank you very much, all.
Not a
Very much.
record-setting time meeting.
What? I didn't break the record here?
No, it's 5:47.
Well, but we got started late, so that's not fair.
I think the record is around like 5 minutes.
I think it's 7, but yes, it's pretty fast.
All right. So what do we do? We did like 10 minutes.
Probably about 12, I think.
All
You
right,
get,
fine.
we'll give you the bronze.
Thanks. At least I'm still in the competition, right? Okay. All right. Have a good
All
evening,
right.
everyone.
Thank you.